Okay, so just another installment, some work we can do with our hips. We're trying to gain hip flexion. One of the things we can do is just to check that. If we stand and maybe even stand next to a wall, we can see how high we can lift that leg without our rib cage moving, okay? Check to the other side. We should be able to get above hip height, and we should be able to hold that for at least 30 seconds without getting tired. So quick test before we do the work, so we can check it after we've done the work. So lacrosse ball, we're going to be working in this sort of in and around this bone here on the side of the hip. Some of these muscles help to flex the hip, and when the main flexors of the hip get tired, these synergist muscles, they overwork, and then they can even bring our leg a little bit more into funny positions, and we get pinching stuff in our groin, or just tension in the hip flexors. So we're going to try and unglue some of that. We're going to go on our side, and we call this sort of a side smash. So we're going to get the ball in there. Anywhere around that bone we can go, so maybe starting at the front where the TFL, tensor fascial lata, is. And then what I'm going to do is with my right foot, or my right hip I should say, so I'm going to try and cue my thigh inwards to point my knee up to the ceiling. And what that does, that little bit of movement, it just creates the loosening. I can also just try some bends, straightening. I think that would be a good one as well, especially with anyone with pain with kicking. And then we can slide around the back a little bit and clean up around there. So just unglue some of that tissue. Spend a couple of minutes doing that. Of course, we can use a foam roller. We don't want to necessarily do the whole outside of the thigh. We just want to focus on where some of those muscles are rather than the IT band. Okay, so that's step one. Step two, change position, same leg. We're going to try and make sure that your lower back is in a good position. So we're not slumped and tucked under. Okay, really, really important. So if I need to be, check that, start in a good position, roll over and just slide that underneath. So we're sitting on top of it. And then from there, it's just a bend and a straighten of my leg. And I'm trying to increase that motion without slumping or flattening my back. All right, we can even get to that point and then go in and out a little bit. I'm basically loosening the posterior pelvic floor, the obturators, muscles that suspend the femoral head in the hip joint. So now we've created a bit of room and space for movement. We want to bring in some core stability and work on hip flexion. So I'm going to take about 15 to 20 pound weight. You want to pick it up properly. We've got to roll over, get it, come back, stabilize that weight. If I want to go bottoms up for a little bit more of a challenge, I'm going to flip the kettlebell up. Shoulders down into the floor, left leg's bent up, right leg's out. So by holding the weight, my core muscles will engage reflexively rather than me having to think about tensing them, which I wouldn't do if I was kicking. Okay, so elbow straight, and I'm going to keep my foot pointed straight up, knee locked, and I'm going to raise, and I'm going to do a few hip turns. So again, I'm trying to get that rotation, not just flexion. When I go down, push my heel into the floor, up, rotate around. If when you go down you feel like you arch your back a lot, I can put a roller underneath your heel and we can go from a little bit higher. And that sometimes allows people to keep that arch in their back. Again, we don't want a flat back, okay? Put that down, look, roll it off. Thank you very much.